I've tried to apply my experiences to work out just how these seemingly normal people become the monsters that they turned out to be.
South of downtown Los Angeles, it's not a safe place, and you just have to be cautious even when you come up to a red light.
Chester Dewayne Turner, infamously known as the South Side Slayer, terrorized Los Angeles for over a decade, murdering at least 14 women, most of them black individuals involved in prostitution and drug addiction, between 1987 and 1998. His crimes were marked by a chilling signature, strangulation, abuse, and the callous disposal of his victims' bodies in alleys, dumpsters, and abandoned lots. But what turned Turner into one of California's most prolific serial killers? Psychological criminologist Dr. Brianna Fox dissects his descent into depravity, tracing the red flags that foreshadowed his murderous path and the systemic failures that allowed him to evade justice for so long. Chapter 1. A Childhood of Violence and Abandonment. Warren, Arkansas, 1966-1970s. Chester Dewayne Turner entered a world where violence was his first language. Born in 1966 to an alcoholic father and abused mother, his earliest memories were of fists crashing into flesh and the sound of his mother's muffled cries. By age 5, Turner had learned two devastating lessons. 1. Violence equals power. 2. Women exist to be dominated. 1974. Escape to Hell. His mother fled to South Central Los Angeles, trading rural poverty for urban warfare. The neighborhood was a battleground of the Crips and Bloods, where crack deals happened in broad daylight. For young Chester, this wasn't a refuge. It was advanced training in brutality. Chapter 2. The Making of a Predator. Looking back at Chester Turner's high school years in South Central Los Angeles during the 1980s, the early warning signs were clearly present, though at the time, they were too often overlooked or dismissed. Even then, Turner developed a troubling reputation among his peers. Some students gave him a nickname that hinted at his inappropriate behavior, which included making unwanted advances and invading personal space in ways that made others uncomfortable. He would approach classmates in isolated areas of the school, leaving them visibly shaken and distressed. Unfortunately, the response from school staff was far from adequate. Instead of addressing these behaviors with the seriousness they warranted, many adults chalked it up to immaturity or dismissed it as typical teenage behavior. This lack of accountability contributed to an environment where harmful actions were allowed to continue unchecked. Chapter 3. The Killing Ground. Figueroa Corridor. By the late 1980s, Lonnie Franklin Jr. had begun operating in a particular stretch of South Los Angeles known as the Figueroa Corridor. This area, dimly lit by neon signs and marked by rundown motels and liquor stores, had become a place of deep vulnerability. Many who lived or passed through this neighborhood were struggling, battling addiction, homelessness, and poverty. His pattern of behavior. Franklin's actions followed a disturbing and repeated method. The approach. He targeted women facing difficult circumstances, often offering them comfort, shelter, or other means of support. The control. He used manipulation and intimidation to assert power over them, creating fear and helplessness. The violence. The encounters escalated into deadly assaults, where he exercised complete control. The aftermath. He left his victims in isolated places, alleyways, lots, or near dumpsters, showing no regard for their lives or dignity. This grim chapter in Los Angeles history reveals how a predator exploited the forgotten and underserved, operating for years without detection. The Figueroa Corridor became a silent witness to these tragedies, one that would eventually help lead investigators to the truth. Chapter 4. The Downfall. Turner's reign of terror might have continued indefinitely if not for a single mistake. He let a victim live. In March 2002, he attacked Maria Martinez, a 47-year-old homeless woman he knew from local shelters. After raping her for 2 hours behind a dumpster, he left her with a chilling threat. "If you tell anyone, I'll kill you." What Turner didn't count on was Maria's courage. Despite the fear, she immediately reported the assault. Her bravery led to a rape kit, which provided a critical DNA sample. This one piece of evidence linked Turner to over 10 unsolved murders. For years, he had evaded justice, but science finally caught up with him. Chapter 5. Trial and Legacy. The Trial, 2007. Turner was convicted of 10 murders and sentenced to death. In court, he smirked and even mouthed the words, "I'll be back," to the victims' families. The retrial, 2014. Advances in DNA technology tied Turner to 4 additional murders, solidifying his second death sentence. One of the most tragic aspects of Turner's case was the wrongful conviction of David Jones, a mentally disabled janitor who was wrongly linked to 3 of Turner's murders. Jones spent 11 years behind bars before new evidence led to his exoneration. This miscarriage of justice highlights the flaws in the system that allowed Turner to continue his reign of terror. Additionally, there were multiple missed opportunities to catch Turner before his final victim. Between 1991 and 1995, Turner was arrested 6 times for lewd conduct, yet crucial DNA samples were never collected. This oversight left law enforcement with fewer tools to build a case against him and ultimately allowed his killing spree to continue unchecked. Dr. Brianna Fox's analysis. This wasn't just a policing failure, it was a societal one. Turner hunted women society had already discarded. If his first victim had been a white college student, he would have been caught in 1988. How many victims? While Turner was confirmed to have killed 14 women, experts estimate the actual number could be between 30 and 40, based on his long span of activity and the patterns he followed. Where is he now? Turner is currently on death row at San Quentin State Prison. However, due to California's execution moratorium, he will likely die of natural causes before his sentence is carried out. Could this happen today? While advancements in DNA processing and social media alerts for missing persons have made law enforcement more responsive, vulnerable populations, like the ones Turner targeted, still fall through the cracks due to ongoing systemic neglect. Chester Turner wasn't a criminal mastermind. He thrived in the shadows of societal apathy, targeting victims whose lives were deemed expendable. His true legacy isn't just one of horror. It's a stark reminder of how deeply systems can fail the vulnerable.